Hey guys, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, cool. Um, so let me check some of the questions that we received recently, uh, and then I'm gonna give you guys an update.
I put together a little something something on the
Yeah.
Telegram channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first question I see is, are we hiring a PR marketing person, Zilli campaign, video tutorials? We're not actively looking for any PR or marketing person. If someone comes along who's pretty good, then we're definitely gonna consider hiring them. But I guess the best way to see that is if someone has an initiative that they kind of show us. That will be a good way to identify people who would be good for marketing. Zilli campaign, we're definitely gonna do that. Some people said that doing a Zilli campaign might only work for existing users, but even if it does that, then that's pretty good still to engage community and give active rewards for participation. But I think that it's going to attract new people too. Plus, a cool thing about Zeely campaigns is that in the tasks that users have to do, like it's called quests. Inside the quest, you're basically creating a tutorial on how to use the platform in order to give the reward. So, for example, we could have a quest which says place a limit order on Prism, which gives out certain rewards, and and inside the quest there will basically be a guide showing people how to use limit orders, what limit orders are, etc. And basically, it's a pretty cool way to onboard people into using your products while getting some rewards for it as well. So I think that's pretty fun, and we could use that to onboard people into Prism. So Zeely, I think, is definitely a good way. In terms of video tutorials, I also think that this is a good idea. I saw some projects that did video tutorials as well, so I think we should definitely do that. Let me check the next one. The second question was currently what's the best source of liquidity for Prism USDC pair? Right now, the biggest liquidity is on Radium, so using Radium's Prism USDC is probably going to give them highest depth. There's also another question about whether a uh, wallet is Prism owned. The guy, I don't know who posted it, but they said, "Is this the wallet? Is this wallet related to the team?" It says Legendary Staker. Uh, okay. So this is not a team wallet. I wish it was. I wish we had $25.5 million in a single wallet with 400K of SOL. I don't know what wallet this is, but maybe whoever wrote this question maybe can clarify why they think it might be a Prism wallet. Is it just a random wallet or what? Um,
The
we'll find
question
out.
came from
Who
Wonder
asked this
Girl.
question?
Yeah, it was
What?
Wonder Girl. So maybe she can clarify a bit.
Okay, so she's not here. Okay. Yeah, I guess she can clarify, but whatever the case is, this is not a Prism wallet, well, not a Prism wallet or a team wallet or individual wallet. I don't know what this wallet is. Um, let's see the next question. Status of V4 release. Any further updates on new market making edition on OpenBook V2? So market makers are starting to quote more on OpenBook V2. So if you go to openbook.ag right now, let me check. Go to openbook.ag. I think that's going to be the primary main website for OpenBook. And inside the website, if you click if you click trade now, it redirects to Prism. So that's good news. And the second thing is if you click on the ecosystem, if you kind of click on see projects, the first project is Prism, which goes to Prism as well. So that's pretty good. And I think that we're going to see some traffic coming in from OpenBook community as they get more popular as well. So yeah, what I was saying is that the market makers are starting to quote more and more as they see volumes going up. And we added about 6 or 7 markets recently on Prism, which still need more liquidity. But what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna share my screen as well so you guys could see what we're working on. But we're gonna release DCA tomorrow for you guys to try it out, test it out, and stuff like that. One kind of problem that I see is that since Solana is kind of really inconsistent in terms of transaction execution, that there might be some problems people might have where transactions are not landing no matter what fee you specify, what priority fee you specify. But hopefully that gets fixed really soon. And apart from that, the DCA is functional, and I'm just gonna paste a picture really quickly from the Prism buyback program. Basically, we're gonna be using Prism DCA to do the Prism buyback program from now on. It has already started, and this, for example, here, this is running for a month, and it's gonna buy every 3 minutes. We're gonna basically what we're gonna do is from the fees that we collect, we're gonna continuously run DCAs, so people can't really take advantage of that, since the DCA will be continuous. So that's that. And let me check. Yeah, so we released the DCA so you guys can take a look and use it. If you have Prism staked, you already get fee discounts. So let me show you a screenshot on the fee tiers as well. So if you take a look at the stage chat, you're gonna see the screenshot, which is DCA fee tiers. And this is basically, this should be pretty good for everyone that is staking Prism. So if you stake 100,000 Prism or more, so if you have a shark roll on Discord, that means you're gonna have 0% fees, so for free. So you're gonna be able to use DCA for free. One thing to mention here, though, that when you're creating a DCA order, you're transferring the network transaction fees, so basically transaction execution fees, to the DCA account. So that fee then is used to execute your orders. And this is done because, for example, if you place a DCA for that you're gonna do for a year, and you're gonna do it every minute, it's like hundreds of thousands of transactions that the DCA is gonna do for you. And that kind of, even though Solana right now has a small fee per transaction, over 100,000 transactions, that adds up to a lot, right? So basically, you're paying that network transaction fees upfront, and then that is being used to pay for the number of transactions that the DCA is doing. But in terms of the platform fee, it starts at a 0.1%, just like Jupiter's DCA. However, if you have 5,000 Prism or more staked, then you already get 20% discount for 5K. If you stake 20,000 Prism, you get 40% discount. Then on 35,000 Prism, you get 60%. On 50,000, you get 80%. And on 100,000, it's the DCA is basically free for you. Um, um, Creative strategy to attract people to use our DCA. And what I was thinking is, since we were talking about getting more people into Prism and there's this airdrop kind of meta going on, what we could do is I think we could airdrop staked Prism tokens to a bunch of people. Um, I don't know what the amount is going to be, but we can discuss that. It's just an idea. So we can airdrop staked Prism to them, so that they'll be able to get discounts on DCA using DCA instantly, and that's gonna kind of incentivize them to try out the platform and start using our DCA. So that could be a little sneaky little way to uh, convert other DCA platform users into Prism DCA, since they're going to be having discounts, and on elsewhere you have to pay 0.1% fee. If here you have to pay 0.6%, for example, and the Prism is staked, so they can't immediately dump it. Then I think that makes sense. So I guess we can kind of talk about that and see if that's a good idea. I just kind of thought of it before I jumped on a call here. But yeah, that could be one way to get a lot of new users and get them involved in the community. For example, the criteria of the airdrop could be Solana wallets that have at least 100 transactions in total, and that was created before March 2024. So basically, old wallets, I mean, older than a month, and has interacted with Solana more than 100 times, so that we filter out basically newly created wallets. And also it's not gameable because people can't create new wallets and claim new Prism. Basically, you had to create, basically once we announce it, you can't create new wallets and claim it. So it's for old wallets. So yeah, that's the idea. What do you guys think? Let me know. I see that Ragar said he's on board if the staked Prism is staked for 2 years at least. What does the other people think? Okay, anyways, I guess we need more people to. Okay, let me just wait for other people to type. Yeah, 2 years might be long. Even I think that we need to find some kind of a time frame that is not too long and also not too short that most people just dump it. Because right now, since Prism USDC doesn't have too much liquidity as much as it had a while ago, it might be better for the price discovery that we basically airdrop it for, I'm just kind of thinking out loud, let's say 3 months or something like that, staked for 3 months, so that when they check it out, they see, okay, I'm gonna have it for 3 months, and then they're incentivized for the platform and the token to do well. Because if you airdrop it for 2 years, they might not care at all to try out the platform even. So I think that people have this kind of experience with Bonk, especially. Bonk, when they airdropped staked Bonk, and it was unlocking for a year or something, people kind of got behind it. But yeah, it's interesting to see what you guys think and what other people who are not listening right now think. But let me just move on to some other things, and we can, I guess, continue in the general chat after the update. So, so the DCA is going to be live tomorrow, by the way. Let's see. So about liquidity addition, I think I don't think that lower liquidity is bad necessarily right now, because it's better for the price discovery, rather than having millions of liquidity when the price is low. But I guess we can increase the liquidity gradually as V4 releases, and we have some traffic and traction coming in. So the other question was the 250K liquidity addition that Bridges mentioned in the last AMA. what's the plan for that? I mean, will it be added now or later? Is it on chain or on a centralized exchange? So it's on chain, and I think it's a better idea to wait for the V4 release and then increase liquidity gradually, as I said. So let me check. The next question was the 300 million Prism that is in the wallet that starts with 33IIF. The question is it locked up for future liquidity allocation or has it already been deployed? So it's unlocked, but it's sitting in the in the cold wallet. So it's not used right now, but it can be used in the future. The next question was, can you connect multiple wallets and have zero fee? Only one wallet has more than 100K Prism staked, and you want to DCA with multiple wallets. So right now, the way it works is you get fee discounts on the wallet that has 100K or more staked. So the cool part about that is that you don't actually need to stake 100K because we take the weighted TVL, so weighted staked Prism, which means that if you stake longer, for example, if you lock your Prism and stake for longer, then you get more weight. So people who stake, I think for 2 years, they only need to stake 25,000 Prism to have the same fee discounts as a person who stakes 100K Prism with flexible staking, so they can unlock anytime. So yeah, it only works currently with the wallet that has the staked Prism, the fee discounts.
I think this question is in regards to a lot of people moving their stake to their hardware wallets. We advised that a while back, but then
Hmm.
they want to use a different wallet or the wallet where the stake initially was
Hmm.
to use a DCA function. So, is there a way to combine your everyday hot wallet to your, for instance, ledger?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I guess to avoid people from gaming that, I guess what we can do is with the staked wallet, you could be able to assign a wallet which gets the discounts. So you'll be able to assign one wallet, and then once you assign it, the staked account won't receive any fee discounts, but the wallet that you assign will get the discounts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to me it does because for me personally, I also moved my stake to my cold wallet.
Mhm.
But I never interact with any platform uh, my with my ledger for
Mhm.
obvious reasons. So I would still want to use the DCA function, but not with my ledger. So
Yeah.
um,
One thing though with that is that if it's your cold wallet, then you still have to do that. You still have to interact with our smart contract to transfer the stake, right? To transfer the um, authority, so to speak, to get the fee discounts.
yeah, but that would be a more acceptable and one-time risk instead of constantly interacting with the the ledger.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I guess what we could do. Hmm, yeah. Oh, okay. So for that to be feasible, what we would probably have to do is change the staking contract and add an option to assign a fee discount receiver. Um, and then when you stake, you'll be able to kind of assign a wallet that gets the fee discounts, or when you already have it staked, you'll be able to assign it still. But yeah, let me think about that. I don't want to kind of jump the gun and say something that's not gonna work. So yeah, we're gonna think about that for sure.
We might be able to do it with PubKey or servers like Matraka, but I'll send you the details on Telegram.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so just to say a few words about the Zili campaign. Um, I think we're gonna set it up, and I think there were some people who kind of volunteered to help with that. That would be great. Maybe we can create some kind of I think someone said like a marketing working group or something. That would be cool. Um, and let's set that up. Yeah, one more thing. We set up a public board of Prism. Let me paste it here. So if you go here, you're going to be able to track in real time the feedback and the suggestions that are being posted on our Discord. Then from those, and also you'll be able to see the current proposals here. You'll be able to see ones that get approved. So the feedback and suggestions, if a feedback gets approved, basically to be integrated or done, then they move into the approved tab. From there, they move to in progress once we start working on it, and then once the most of the work is done and we start testing it, it's in under testing, and then in the production are the things that are live pretty much. So, a lot of people had this kind of question of like they want to see what's happening and what's being done. So I guess using this way, you can kind of track what's happening in real time. Um, Let me announce that in maybe we can write the announcement after the update. Yeah. So is there any other questions?
I think this was pretty much it.
Okay. These days, I don't have time to check a lot of the chats that is going on in the Discord. So, um, someone told me that people were unhappy about something. Can someone give me like a brief description of what's going on and what the vibes are,
Yeah,
or what were
the
the
main
concerns or
concern
something?
was uh, there's a lack of marketing. The Prism team is lagging behind. People are unsure whether managing two projects at the same time is feasible. Um, the price appreciation of Prism token is going down while the rest of the market is going up.
Mhm.
Investors are selling their bags.
Who?
Um, and it seems like the team doesn't care. That's what one of the people said.
Is it like a new guy or is it someone who's been our community member?
They've been here for over 2 years.
Yeah, but is he active or he just came came around
He came-
while Solana reached an all-time high?
Um, it's not one of our regulars. Let me say that.
Okay, because is there any like did he or she mention anything specifically or just uh, they just straight out say that we don't care or stuff something like that?
Um, yeah, well, the I can link the message, but yeah,
Okay.
let's.
Um, yeah, so let's start with the beginning, I guess. The first one was what was the first one?
Um, Someone proposed a marketing strategy.
Okay, marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the marketing, Does anyone have any ideas on how we can push the product in this stage right now? Because like, um, for example, with DCA, this might be, yeah, I guess he might have a bad day, but that's okay. But um, so in terms of marketing, I think that the Zeely campaign and I think this kind of DCA product could be something that picks up a lot of traction. So doing this kind of, I mean, this airdrop that I mentioned, for example, is kind of a uh, different type of marketing strategy, which I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it seems something that could work really well. That's why I want to hear you guys' thoughts about it. But but yeah, the Zeely campaign, the DCA could be pretty cool. It could work. Um, let's see. In terms of V4 release, as I said, tomorrow you're going to be able to use the DCA. If you guys think that we're in a ready stage to release and kind of announce it, we've got people waiting for us, for example, to release the V4 officially and kind of publicly, and then they're gonna amplify it on their end. But the reason I was kind of delaying the release for V4 is because the lack of liquidity on V2. But tomorrow, after you guys see the DCA, there's also um, another product of Prism, which is bundles. And on the DCA, you'll be able to DCA in and out of bundles as well, which is pretty cool. And that kind of creates, that kind of um, converts the DCA product into something more than just a normal DCA that people are used to. So, for example, you'll be able to DCA into uh, normal SPL tokens that people DCA on, but there's also a new way of DCAing into multiple tokens at the same time, basically, without manually opening up and kind of creating DCA orders for each token. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa said, good to test a few different campaigns and see what works. Yeah, for sure. So I guess on the Zeely side, what we can start with is some of the tasks. I mean, we already have a few kind of basic tasks that people can do, like social tasks, joining Discord, Twitter, stuff like that. Using limit orders, using the DCA, for example, staking Prism, stuff like that. But if you guys have ideas on what we can do on other types of tasks that we can do to engage people on the platform and into the community, you can write in the, I don't know which channel, let's say in the proposals, and but in the let's just write it in feedback, because some people don't have staked Prism to access the proposals channel. So let's just open it to everyone. And we're gonna add those two. Okay, BJ said there was a guy who posted this well-written document about Prism, how Prism can do marketing. And the other guy was basically skeptical if the team would consider it, but you just said it was possible maybe to make a marketing group. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out, see what's feasible from that, and I'm gonna get back on this. Um, Excellency said, but doesn't liquidity come from marketing? Um, Liquidity in terms of volume sure comes from marketing, but liquidity in terms of the available liquidity on a token pair, for example, that comes from the market makers mostly. So on an on-chain DEX like Prism, which uses OpenBook V2, or on Phoenix, which has their own engine, most of the liquidity and the orders are from market makers, not from the users. And basically, the way it works is the the market makers mostly place the orders and users mostly take the orders through the swap because most people use a swap. So they're the takers and the makers are the market makers basically who put the orders before users fill it. Bagger said, what is considered feature complete for V4? So what I'm saying is basically look at the platform and let us know if you think that's ready to be announced publicly. So the trading site, for example, that could be ready. I guess then we have to limit some markets, but to only the markets that have liquidity. But in terms of markets that have liquidity, like Sol USDC pair, for example, that could be considered ready because there's a bunch of features that you can do on Prism that you can't do anywhere else, and you can place limit orders, stuff like that. BJ also said, I have a question regarding symmetry, more kind of DCA related. If a user forks the UI and hosts the basket UI with another host platform key, would they be able to use all SPLs as possible tokens, or does the team still have to review each token to be added, even if it's a second host platform? And if so, and then if so, be able to DCA into those bundles with more high risk tokens, example memes. So the way it works is you can fork the Symmetry UI, which is open source, and you can deploy your own kind of asset management platform to receive fees as a host platform. But the way it works is it still interacts with the Symmetry on-chain program, and it's going to be limited to the supported tokens that Symmetry has in general. So the Symmetry engine supports the tokens that it supports because in order for it to be able to do the automations like rebalance the tokens and etc., as well as well as make sure that when a user is depositing USDC, for example, they get the appropriate amount of basket tokens minted to their wallet. The tokens that we support need to have an Oracle feed so that we are sure that the value is the same value. Basically, we get the value on chain, not from the UI or a front end. And so basically, the first one is we need to be able to get the price of a token on chain by interacting with a smart contract. And the second thing is that the token needs to have some kind of a liquidity, because if it has a very low amount of liquidity and it's included in a basket, then and that basket has, let's say, 0.3% slippage tolerance when rebalancing. When that token fails, basically that basket won't be able to rebalance its composition because it's reaching the slippage tolerance because of that one token which has low liquidity. So yeah, those are kind of the limitations right now, which we're thinking of fixing. But yeah, for now, it's going to be limited to the tokens that Symmetry supports. So Lisa Fee said, "How can we get more liquidity, or is it a case? Is it a case of waiting for the market makers?" So it's a two-part problem. So one is the initial market makers who are already doing market making. When I talked to them, they said that they're waiting for the liquidity, for the volumes to pick up, and they're going to gradually increase the quoting. So basically, increase the liquidity over time. I'm going to reach out to them again about quoting on other tokens, because they said they gave me a list of, I think it was 30 markets or something that they quote on OpenBook V1, and they're pretty much the main market maker on OpenBook V1. So they have the most volume. And they said that initially they were gonna start quoting with a small size on OpenBook V2, and they use Prism UI as well to see their orders and to do the orders manually if they want to, but mostly it's automated. And then they would increase size on Sol USDC slowly, and then over time they're gonna start quoting on other tokens, so those 30 markets basically. And 30 markets is pretty, it's a pretty good list of tokens. It's basically most of the tokens that are being traded on Solana. So I'm gonna talk with them again and see what their timelines are, so we can kind of align it with the release. But I also still have to talk to OpenBook people about our announcement. So we might release before they increase on the different markets, and then they're gonna amplify our message and announcement. So BJ said that he already forked the Symmetry UI and did some modifications. That's pretty cool. If you deploy it somewhere, let me know the link. I'm really excited to see. So that's cool. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah. Also also tomorrow when we release the DCA, we're adding the staking page too in the Prism, because some people still haven't seen the announcement that we moved the old platform, old UI into v3.prism.ag. So they're confused where to find their staking page. So that's going to be fixed as well tomorrow. So I think that's it. If there's no
There's
more questions, yeah,
one last question from the fellas. And I'll just copy paste it in the chat real quick here.
sure.
This was asked in the state's questions, so maybe just for him.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna read it out loud so people who will be listening later know what the question was. The fellow said, "I was a couple minutes late, so not sure whether already answered. Last AMA you mentioned that V4 would be released no later than end of the week. Any update on that?" So is he talking about 2 AMAs ago? I think, or the last AMA.
I think the last one, but I'm not sure if
S-
that's what you said.
Yeah, because the he might be referring to uh, multiple things. One is releasing the V4 to the main domain or moving it to the main domain, or is he talking about the kind of public announcement?
I think the public
As
announcement.
yeah, so what we did since last AMA, or 2 AMAs ago, I'm not really sure what he's referring to, but basically we can talk about what we did recently. So we talked with Mango and created new markets for Prism. The market makers said that they would increase the quoting size. So for the markets that we newly added, we also added a new Sol USDC market as well. They are slowly increasing the quoting size. So yeah, basically I'm gonna talk to them again, and I have a call scheduled with the OpenBook as well, to see where they stand. There's this new website that is still, I think, in development, the one you shared, Steve, that I talked about. So there's still has to be an official announcement from their side as well. And I'm gonna try to get the market makers to start quoting on the new markets like Bonk and stuff like that. And then tomorrow, the you guys can test the DCA. And if it's ready, if you guys don't find any bugs and stuff like that, then we can release V4 publicly with the trade and DCA, and then add bundles later on. Does that sound good?
Sound good?
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue testing the DCA, see if I find anything. Hopefully, Solana network more transactions land, so I can test well. Because sometimes it takes a while to land the transaction. But yeah, tomorrow, let's see how it goes, and tomorrow let's test it out together and see what feedback we get from the users, and add those feedback into the Trello so everyone can track it and see how that goes. Let's see what BJ is typing, and then we can end the weekly update. Question PJ as, is there anything team can do about transactions and congestions, or is it only Solana issue? So what we can do is, I mean, right now, I don't think we can do anything. Doesn't matter what priority fee we specify in the transactions. If the network is congested, it's still not landing. But I guess tomorrow what we'll include is ability for users to specify a custom priority fee. So there's going to be high fee, turbo, and then custom, where you can specify your own fee. And hopefully that kind of adds more flexibility. But as long as the network is spammed with the transactions, I'm not sure what we can do. Steve,
Yeah,
maybe you have any
yeah,
insights
I
on
can
that.
provide some context. So the one of the RPC providers for Prism is working on a fix uh, that should improve transaction inclusion problems we're seeing right now. So they'll be rolling that out throughout the week, and we should see some improvements on that over the course of next week as it's rolled out gradually. And also Agave Labs, which is formerly Solana Labs, they're working on 1.18, which should mitigate some of the congestion we see right now. But with the rollout of 1.19, we should definitely have fixed this problem. And it's a really dumb problem. I'll spare you the details, but yeah, this could have been fixed by Solana a year ago, which hasn't. And now we have to deal with it because network activity is through the roof.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you
but
have like a do you know what the reason was, to kind of give me a little info on it, or is it
yeah,
like
it has to do with the implementation of quick ports on Solana. So
okay.
every unstake node has 500 quick ports, and every stake node has availability for 2,000 quick ports. But every quick port has a limit on it, which is big enough for one transaction. Then the stream gets cut off, and a new attempt must be made, which basically limits any RPC node to about one transaction per second, which is ridiculously low. And when you forward your transaction through a validator, which happens for us, it limits the transactions to about 6 per second. And this is in case if the leader is not close to the RPC. So the fixes being made right now is not routing through staked validators, but spamming with light RPCs, which can produce a lot more transactions per second. So the solution for now lies in spam, and the solution for the future lies in broadening the bandwidth and increasing the bandwidth, so a lot more transactions can be communicated to the leader.
Okay, so that basically increases the requirements for the validators in the future potentially, or no?
Not so much, but I think minimum requirements for validators are gonna uh, keep it at a really high standard. Same
Yeah.
is for RPC nodes. If you see what the hardware requirements are for the nodes that our RPC provider is using, it's insane.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
32 core 9446 processor and at least 500 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah. And 1 gigabit per second internet, right?
Then,
Or 10 gigabit?
yeah, at least.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, hopefully a part of the problem gets fixed by next week and we see some improvements um on the network side, but in the meantime, yeah, it's really hard to use everything right now, but um I hope it gets better. In the meantime, yeah, well, let's keep pushing it and test out the DCA and then release the platform. Hey guys, thanks for listening. And see you guys next week. And in the meantime, I might not be very available and on the Discords. I might kind of jump in sometimes um, for some updates that we have or some to check out what's going on. But yeah, let's see how the product release goes and how DCA works. And I think that you can already. Let me check just a second. Yeah, so the buyback that we ran right before this weekly call, it executed 17 transactions already, and it has to execute 19,000 transactions over a month. So that's going to be like a continuous buyback that is going over a month. And then I guess what we can do is every 2 weeks we can add the newly generated fees to the new DCA so that the DCA is running continuously. So yeah, that's it. Let's move to the general chat. Let's discuss the airdrop thing. Airdropping staked Prism to people so they can try out the DCA and convert them to Prism users. Let's hear your thoughts in the general chat, and then let's see what everyone thinks. Thanks for listening, and see ya.
Let's fucking go!